because of our negligence to recognize who she was. Man did not want to recognize who the woman was. He held it back. He ain't wanted to vote. He ain't wanted to do this. He ain't wanted to do that. He ain't wanted to do that. So that left the door open for a sneak attack by those who wanted to to disconnect the powerful forces of the energy that was running through the universe that would have amplified or resonated through the woman naturally if they would have just left her alone. The woman is the doorkeeper. If you notice throughout all these stories, they try to cover up her role. If you look through the Bible, through the Quran, I mean, they talk about the prophets, but women gave birth to the prophets. She was the doorway or the vortex through which that energy was to come into the world. And she could bring evil motherfuckers in existence too, because she gave birth to Hitler. She gave birth to Idi Amin. She gave birth to a whole lot of evil motherfuckers. She is the doorkeeper. That's why most marketing influences of this world is directed towards women and children. Because if you make a slave out of the woman, she'll teach her children to be slaves. Once they got Pocahontas, they used her as a poster child. You feel me?
Yeah.
Just like the Black Panthers used the white girl Patty Hearst as a poster child.
Can you relate this back to how to the feminist movement?
The feminist movement was basically, I'm gonna tell you the true nature of the feminist movement was all that's about queering the planet. If you look at that whole thing is about queering the whole fucking planet.
What does queering mean?
It's making everybody feminist. See, the feminist movement was not just about putting the woman over the man. It was also about making the man a woman. Because if you look at it, manhood, regardless of whether it's black manhood, white manhood, Chinese manhood, I don't give a fuck what color you are. If you're a man, manhood is under attack all over the planet. Look at the roads. You look at most sitcoms. You look at most of this. Most of the men don't have no backbone. They feminine, etc., etc., etc.
On the other flex of that, could it be also that the woman is being made into the man of like? That was my next point. When you look at these TV shows, the man is made more feminine and the woman is made more masculine. Isn't that what went? What was the guy's name in America that was brought into a Lynch? No, not Lynch. Crow. Didn't he teach the slave masters how to neutralize his slaves?
Yeah, I mean, and if you notice, not only that was done then from a racial standpoint, it's being done today regardless of what color you is.
Right. But didn't he? Sorry, go on.
During slavery time, they used all these psychological techniques and methodologies in order to break the slave. You see, and now those same methodologies and those same techniques can be used universally on people regardless of what color they are. So you see, because if you're talking about a world government, then you're talking about ruling all type of people.
Right.
You're not just talking about ruling black people now. You're talking about ruling all colors on the face of the earth, and the best way to prevent a revolution is to queer the fucking planet through feminism. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to respond to it the way a queer going to respond to it, or a feminist going to respond to it. I bring it back to them like this. If you really understood what a real feminist or the feminine principle it's supposed to be doing, then I say to you that I am a real feminist.
Right.
I stand for the right of the feminine principle to exist, because I have to stand for it because it's already existing throughout the universe. That's why I say that we have to stand for the feminine principle, because traditionally we have been under a patriarchal system. That's an all-male system. And if we look at the condition of the world under an all-male system, men have fucked the world up under an all-male system. Now, if we're going to say that the feminist movement is here to balance that out, then I agree with that. But if the feminist movement is here to overtake the male principle and not coexist with it in a harmonious way, but rather usurp it, rather undermine it, and sabotage the male principle, then you're going to have a collapse of what you know as family structures. You're going to have a collapse of everything that we have come to know that is real and that is genuine, and that is the existence of the male and the female principle, understanding each other's existence and its right to exist. That is peace, that is truth, that is salvation for the human family. But if we're going to just say that because men have done this and men have done some very, very nasty things to women, we cannot deny that. And men have to own up to that and take some type of responsibility for that, and to educate themselves psychologically in order for them to actually be proactive in the reversal of a male-dominated society. Because it's the original man, original woman. She has her originality and man has his originality. When we combine them together, we have an original people. Plain and simple. When we don't do that, we have a dysfunctional people. We have an imbalanced man, an imbalanced woman, and therefore we have chaos. But we know, all wise people know, that out of chaos, order is going to be born. So that's why we're at this point today, because this chaos is beginning to take the shape of order. And the order of the universe is male and female principle in harmony with each other. But there are powers on this earth that do not want this type of civilization, for it is a type 1 civilization. You will never be able to reach type 1 civilization without unity of the male and female principle. That's why we haven't even reached a type 1 civilization. We're still stuck at 0. Man and woman at war with each other. And that's my take on that. We must not have a feminist movement that seeks to queer the planet, to bring feminism not only just to a point where you're talking about establishing the woman existence, but going too far with actually feminizing the men and attacking the manhood of the man principle. That can't exist. And if we need to put a break on a system that is patriarchal, all male, that squashes out the creativity and the existence of the feminist principle, that's the road we need to go on. We need to go where we actually reverse this chaos and accept the order that is being born out of it. That is the reuniting of the male and the female principle. That's how I see it.